Friends of Family Farmers is responsive to the community that we serve. That's why when farmers reach out to us and tell us that there's a problem, we immediately jump into action, researching the issue, talking to folks in community, and developing a solution.
I'm Brittany Deming from Friends of Family Farmers. We're here with Lakshmi Tata from Edible Stories Market Garden. Can you tell us a little bit about your farm?
Yeah, so Edible Stories Market Gardens was started by me and my husband in 2013. Um, we are located in Helvetia in the Hillsborough area, and we grow vegetables on less than half an acre. Um, we specialize in growing vegetables that are used in South Asian cooking mainly.
Hi, my name is Jenny Jonak. I'm the founder of Dragon Song Farm. We are a cut flower farm that specializes in regenerative and sustainable farming practices. We're located in the Eugene, Oregon area of the Willamette Valley.
All right, Lakshmi. So, what was the problem with the small farm irrigation with your farm?
So we moved to this place in 2013 to have a small market garden. When we bought this property, which is zoned for agriculture and forest use, we weren't aware that we couldn't use a domestic well for having a commercial garden. What we were told is that you can grow vegetables and sell vegetables on less than half an acre. So I think a year and a half, 2 years ago, when the whole water rights issue came up, uh, that's when we learned that what we're doing is not legal.
I have a friend that runs a farm around the corner from us, and she had been farming for quite some time. She was very surprised to get a letter from our local water master letting her know that she did not have water rights and could not continue to grow, even though she grows on half an acre and uses about 1,000 gallons a day. What she grows, she feeds about 20 different families or more with a CSA and farm stand. And she unfortunately wound up having to shut down her farm and find other employment.
So, how do you think you grew as an advocate working with FoFF?
This whole experience of being involved in FoFF's legislative efforts made us understand how we can advocate for ourselves, what are the steps involved. FoFF actually helped us not just getting in touch with the legislators through their rally day, because that was itself a very big learning experience. We had no clue how it's going to all be, but FoFF was there every step of the way. They made us understand what the purpose of the rally day is for. What's involved, what does it mean to meet with the legislators, how are we going to approach these legislators, kind of like coming up with talking points about.
I learned about how effective it can be when small farmers get together and understand the legislative process and can provide feedback to the legislators, to the committees, and to community members so they can also provide input. No matter how inexperienced you may be with the legislative process, Friends of Family Farmers can guide you through every step of the way so that your voice and your input can be heard.
So, how would your experience be different without FoFF's guidance and support?
We wouldn't have been able to do what we are doing and have been doing for the last 13 years. We wouldn't have known who to approach, how to get the advocacy work done. We wouldn't know how to talk with the state at the state capitol.
I really didn't know how the legislative process worked in terms of committees, in terms of amendments, and how long the process was. Being able to really get constituent feedback, to work with different interest groups, and to try to come up with a consensus, that was something that I would not have been able to do without Friends of Family Farmers guidance. Speaking for myself as a Korean American, I'm very cognizant of the fact that people of color were not able to own or rent land easily during the time period when we had senior water rights given out. And so as a result, you see a big discrepancy between the population for people of color in Oregon and farmers of color who simply don't have access to land. So without some means of getting access to water, and there is a moratorium on most water rights being granted, without that access, you had that inequity built into the system, and you had a lot of people who were able on a very small scale to feed a lot of people, but were not able to bring it to market or do anything with it.